And a dark childhood, what exactly do you mean with that?
Well, I mean, it was very difficult for me growing up because, first of all, I was born in Germany. My ideals, everything, you know, were formed in Germany. And then I moved to the U.S. and I lived in a very blue-collar city outside of Boston. And, you know, I didn't fit in anywhere. You know, I played sports and I was good at sports, but I just never really fit in because everybody else came from like a family of factory workers. And me, I had this creative mind, you know. I was probably the only kid in the school who was a break dancer. You know, I'd dress up in the Michael Jackson outfits and people just thought I was really strange because they all, like I said, they all come from parents who work in the factories and stuff. So that kind of was difficult, and of course coming from you know, a broken family where your mother and father aren't together anymore, that was very difficult as well. You know, so yeah, there was a lot of confusion when I was growing up. But now I look back at it, and it, like I said, it all makes sense. I understand now, and I think, you know, when I talk to young people, especially, you know, with what I do, I have the ability to. A lot of young people who are going through dark times in their lives send me emails and talk about how my music has kind of empowered them and kind of help them along. And when I speak to people like that, you know, I say to them, it's like, listen, you know, hang in there, because you don't understand, you know, why things are happening, but you will, and it'll make you a stronger person. It'll all fit, you know. Life is funny that way.
Yeah. When did you start to understand your own problems? At the moment you met your father, or was it at another time in your life?
No, I think it's through your whole life you kind of learn. You know, but at some point, I think when I met my father, everything, like, it all made sense then. It was like, I understand now, you know. And yeah, I'm kind of going through a difficult time right now because I just met him a few years ago, and he's sick, and we're not sure how much longer he's going to be around. So he came into my life just so he can leave my life again. And I don't understand why that happened, but I'm sure down the road I will understand. It'll all make sense. And maybe this is the time of my life when I'm supposed to meet him, you know, I don't know. But that's the way life works. Like, everything kind of makes sense down the road.
Yeah. To make things a little bit more clear, but why was it only 5 years ago that you met your father? Was there a certain occasion?
Yeah, no, you know, I moved to the U.S. when I was 13, and I'd been in the U.S. ever since. So it was never, you know, there was a whole ocean. Now the ocean seems small. You know, I fly across the ocean maybe 3-4 times a month and don't think anything of it. But as I was growing up, that ocean seemed like as far away as the moon. You know, when I lived in the U.S., going to Germany, just it was not possible. So I think growing up, there was not any contact because of that. It was the distance seemed so. The distance seemed really far back then.
And now, do you see each other a lot? Or?
Yeah. As a matter of fact, I just saw him this weekend. Now I have an apartment in Berlin because I do a lot of touring in the summertime. So I have an apartment in Berlin, and I live there in the summer, and the wintertime in Miami. So I see him quite often. You know, whenever I'm in Berlin for longer periods, he always comes up, and yeah. So it's kind of cool to, you know, the pieces fit together to kind of have it all together again.
Yeah, and if you're with him, and what does he think of what you're doing? Does he like it,
he told me. As a matter of fact, he came to a gig for the first time this past fall, or no, in the springtime, May Day in Dortmund, Germany. He came to the gig. He had just gotten out of the hospital from his operation. And he was in a wheelchair, and they put him on the stage behind one of the speakers in the wheelchair so he could see. You know, he could see me, he could see the crowd, and he told me afterwards, he goes, you know, you are living what I could only dream of. So for me, that was quite it was quite a moment, heavy moment for me, because you know, to kind of be living a dream that your parents kind of had when they were young is, it means you've kind of done something, you know, and yeah, it's pretty, it was heavy, definitely heavy, but very rewarding as well, you know.